Presents partner with Cancel This Show with myself, Vic Faust, and my co-host,
Megan Marie. We're ranked in the top 10% globally.
Our show has reached over 1.68 million engaged listeners, and we continue to grow monthly.
Podcasting is one of the best ways to advertise
because it offers a highly engaged audience, SEO-targeted reach,
and the ability to build a personal connection with listeners.
Dive into the dynamic world of cancel culture, politics, all current events, and the latest news with us.
It's the American taxpayers that are having to pay for all of this monkey business left and right.
Look at all of these pictures. They are using AI to generate fake photos, and we show you them. And Joe will show, we got a video of one, we've got certain pictures.
They were hiding the fact and trying to lie to the American people for months that Joe Biden was doing well.
This is Kamala. This is Joe Biden. It's Barack Obama. It's Jake Sullivan, all together doing anything and everything they can to strike back at Donald Trump because he continues to kick their ass.
If that doesn't make you mad enough to vote one way or another in this election, nothing will do it.
Get your company's voice heard, your brand recognized,
and the exposure you deserve.
Does your brand align with our mission?
Let's talk and make an impact together. Hey guys, welcome to cancelthisshow.com. Vic Faust, Megan Marie Moret, Eric Johnson in the house as well. There he is. Pro Joe, making sure we look and sound as good as we possibly can. Guys, welcome into the Thursday show, October 24th. You know what we do here? News headlines, politics, the election of 2024, cancel culture, education, and anything you guys want to talk about. Of course, jump in on our People's platform. You can do that via Rumble, via Facebook, and of course, X. You can join us live there as well. We've also got social media sites where we have content on Instagram and YouTube as well. Okay, glad that the crew is here today. Eric, we're going to need one favor, though.
What's that?
Okay, we're going to need to put that mic below. I know you like to cover your face with a mic.
I don't like any of it. This is how we used to do it in radio.
You put it up.
Remember when radio was a thing?
Everything, yeah.
Eric's like, hey, guys.
The old
guys, can you feel what I'm dropping today right
That's
now?
right. You got that right.
You got this.
I got
mic
it going
drop.
on. We love to see Eric's beautiful
Drop
face.
the mic. Mic
Mhm.
drop.
I love it when he comes in. Okay, on the show today, MS-13 gangs continuing to spread throughout the country. Media doesn't cover it. Just because you don't hear about it doesn't mean it's not happening. It's a serious, serious situation. Donald Trump with an incredible soundbite yesterday you're going to hear. Also, Kamala Harris just horrible yesterday when it comes to calling a presser. For the first time, Megan and Eric, she called a presser. First time since she ran for president. And what was it about?
It was about Donald Trump.
It was about Donald Trump.
It was about Michael Kelly, General Kelly.
We're going to get into that.
And lies.
Mhm.
Just more lies.
And then David Axelrod blasted her on CNN, calling her word salad, literally on CNN last night.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Really?
David Axelrod. Kind of a big deal. So we'll show you that. What made my day was also hearing Trump chants in Detroit at a Kamala rally.
I did not see that.
She can't win. She
No,
really
Pete,
can't.
don't say that. Remember what Vic just said. Keep your expectations low.
What I said was always under promise and over deliver. Life is about expectations. If you have big expectations, you're going to be disappointed. I'm sorry.
Right.
So hope for the best and expect the worst.
Hope
Right?
for the best
What
and
is that?
expect that's
No,
bad.
That is bad.
That's like instant.
Yeah.
You're always going to be in a state of disappointment if you feel like that.
Now you want to stay
That's
positive.
depression.
No, you want to hope, but be okay.
That's Obama
and be
stuff.
ready for the worst.
Hope and change. What is that?
Hope and change.
Come on, man. No.
But-
Hey, did you guys see him
Whoa,
trying to
whoa, let me
No.
get that.
trying to drop
Who's-
the Eminem lyrics
Who? What?
the other day?
Oh,
Who? Obama?
Yeah, Barack
silly
Obama.
season.
He's
Silly
up
season.
there and
Yeah.
he's trying to
What the
nonchalantly
hell?
with his white sleeves rolled
Yeah.
up, and he starts dropping beats.
Yeah.
Eminem beats.
Oh,
No,
man.
that's well. That's
Talking about
what does an actor
too
need?
much spaghetti and puking on his shirt. And
What does an
whatever.
actor need? An actor needs an audience. Don't give him an audience. Just ignore him.
He was in Detroit. So,
Eventually, Obama will go away.
yeah.
Okay, sorry about that, Pro Joe. You see, bro, I kicked it with my big 14.
Is Eminem kind of like the poor man's Kid Rock? Is that what it is?
He is.
And isn't that kind of what
he grew up on the wrong side of the tracks in Detroit.
Right?
Yeah.
Kid Rock grew up in the county. Eminem grew up on 8 Mile.
Yeah.
I would say though that he's a little more maybe mentally disturbed or ill though.
He might be.
Yeah. If he went to any of those Diddy parties, hell yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Well, I don't even know if it was the Diddy. He's that boy struggles. I don't know
much
he's
about
not
that
right.
stuff.
Well, we
I
appreciate
don't.
everybody jumping in on the show today. Megan, Eric, Vic here. This is a big story. I think it's one of these things that really resonates and will resonate not only in the St. Louis area, but across the country because people are voting. Early voting has been crazy. Lines, at least throughout the St. Louis metropolitan area, lined up. Just in the St. Charles County area, at Elements Church, you're talking about an hour wait. People waiting an hour to vote early to try to get in and get this done before Election Day coming up in 2 Tuesdays from now. Well, the reason we bring up what happened at Elements Church is, here we go, Eric. I don't know if you looked at your show sheet for today or not.
Never do.
I know you don't.
I don't do it for
He
bands
doesn't need it.
or shows.
He just comes in and
Eric,
flies
of course,
by the
with
seat of his
Platinum
pants.
Rock Legends. We're going to show you the hat first. Here's the deal. We'll put the hat up. This is what's going on. The hat says convicted felon for president 2024. Okay. This woman was wearing that hat in the voting line at Elements Church in St. Charles County, Missouri. That's just outside of the St. Louis area. This is in the deep heart of red Republican country. Okay. The county election, the director of elections for St. Charles County, Kurt Barr, who's been on this show before, walked up to her in a group of people and said she needed to take that hat off before going inside to vote.
Mm-hmm.
Actually he told her to take it off in line. So she didn't. And then like 40 minutes later, when they got right to the edge of the door, that's how long the line was to go in and do early voting. She goes in or right about to go in.
Yeah.
And Kurt Barr comes up again and says, you need to take that hat off. And she wouldn't. Then he looked at her husband and like, are you going to do something? And he's like, don't look at me.
Yeah.
She doesn't listen to what I say anyway. You know, husbands say that about their wives and joke around.
Yeah. So
she goes in and she votes.
Mm-hmm.
But those sunglasses that she had on, she looks great.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful woman. Beautiful hat. Love the hat. Need one of those myself.
Yeah.
No, but she put the glasses on top of the bill. And then she voted. And then allegedly the glasses covered enough of what was on the front of that hat where she was allowed to vote. But she was told she would be committing an election crime if she didn't have the sunglasses on top of the hat.
What's the crime?
Right.
It's called electioneering, is what Kurt Barr told me this morning. So I reached out to Kurt Barr. He got back to me quick. I appreciate him for doing that. I cannot believe this is actually something.
Mm-hmm.
There is no, but electioneering would be wearing a Trump shirt, hat, whatever, pin, or Harris hat, shirt, pin, whatever.
While you vote.
Can't do it. I was told you cannot do that. But this hat says convicted felon for president 2024. No name on it. And she was not going to be allowed to vote with that hat.
Well,
so that is the story. She did vote. She did not commit electioneering crime because her sunglasses covered enough of the hat. Are we really at this point now? Thoughts?
Well, would you rather have?
Did people know this?
Well, here's
is
the
that
deal.
a state crime, by the way, or is that a federal crime? Is that in the state constitution?
That has to be a federal crime.
Because
I don't know.
That's a federal. I'm guessing right now that's a federal crime. There's no way that's
flip the script a little bit. If there was a gaggle of kids handing out bottles of water in line, and they all said Trump Harris, would you be cool with that? I'm just trying to hydrate the line. I'm not trying to do anything wrong. Yeah, but your bottles say Trump or Harris and Walz.
Yeah.
Would you be cool with that?
I could care less because I would assume that the people that are already in line to cast their vote are not on the fence as they're in line.
No, you don't know. Because there's a lot of people that are in there. They're like that they can't stand. I mean, it's down the ballot stuff, right? It's like they might be in there to vote Democrat. They might be in there to vote for Kuntz and not Josh Hawley. And they're like, well, I don't know about the president thing. I can't stand the open border stuff anymore. I can't stand the high inflation, but I'm a Democrat. I don't know. Oh, look, a bottle of water. Yeah, that's it. I'm voting for Harris.
Wow.
You don't know how people's brains work. It's marketing. It's what it is. So if
that's really scary.
It's scary, but we're on the margins.
That a bottle of water could influence your vote
as
you're standing in line.
It's a gift.
To do that.
Is it because they don't want people fighting with each other?
No, I think it is electioneering. I think they're right. It's like you go to the ballot box not to campaign anymore. You go to the ballot box to put your vote in and then leave. That's what all the anonymous stuff is about. You go into a booth or you go into. You
By
don't
the
want
way,
people
Tricia
to
says
see
she would pass on that water, Eric.
You know what?
Would.
I can actually sort of understand the gifting part of it, to maybe not give handouts, to not give freebies, to not, try to influence someone by giving them something.
Mm-hmm.
However, I think that what we wear like on our bodies, I think that is
freedom
absolutely,
of speech kind of stuff.
Yes,
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah, this isn't high school.
Yeah, I mean, Yeah,
it doesn't
I don't
affect
know.
me whatsoever.
Can we see the hat again that she wore? I'm glad she looks great in that hat. Would you wear this hat around your boys?
I do.
Forget about your boys.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have this hat?
I do.
I would
Mine's
wear.
dark though.
What about dark MAGA?
So wait a second. You have that hat?
I have it. Yeah.
Of course, I'm not
surprised.
surprised.
I'm voted. Mine does not say convicted felon. Mine says I'm voting for the felon.
Megan has her normal big, huge walk-in closet at her home, and then she has a separate closet just for her Trump gear.
Yeah,
and
seriously.
I love it.
No, but you know what's funny is my kids.
Great.
My kids are over it now. Now they're just like, you can't stop her. So yeah. So I mean, I'll just wear it. But no one ever.
You can't even see that
to me.
hat, Joe. I'm sorry. Can you pop it up one more time? That hat, it's not like it's not even red.
No.
It's not even red. You have to like get up really close to look. There it is, Joe. Look, nice job. You have to get up really close.
Yeah, but it's nuance. You get it.
I love it. And I just don't think that, I don't know. I'm just having a hard time with this whole electioneering business. I mean, would it be better off if someone showed up wrapped in an American flag? I mean, we would all know exactly who we were voting for.
That's a shame.
I mean,
it is.
But it's the truth.
How many Democrat friends do you have proudly supporting the United States of America with their flags on their cars, house, or shirts?
In theory, so basically,
I don't know one.
So basically, the American flag has become a jersey for one of the parties. That sucks because what it should be like the American flag is we're the same team.
Mm-hmm.
We're just voting for different managers of the team. Everybody's voting for the same team, but instead of Tony La Russa, we want to get Panetta in here to be the manager of the Cardinals, right?
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, we're voting on two totally separate teams. One is very socialistic. I don't know what their colors are. It's very green and white and all that stuff and black and whatever.
They represent with the colors in their hair.
Right, exactly. Very rainbow. One jersey is very rainbow and then blah blah blah. And then what sucks is that there's this whole other part of the country that says, no, we want the country to stay the country. And so I was looking at this, I go, what is going on here? This is two elections happening. One is on issues. One is a popularity contest. Okay.
Exactly.
So when I go to my friends who are voting for Kamala, I can go bullet point down the list. I'm sure you can too. It's like inflation. You like inflation? No, I hate inflation. You like high taxes? Yeah, my taxes are a little bit high. Do you like the people that are coming into your community? You're taking away from your kids at school from Venezuela, and they should do that a little bit better. So issue by issue by issue, Democrats will 100% agree with the Republicans. Now, do you think that grab him in the crotch thing is not affecting a bunch of women?
No,
it is.
We've talked about it.
They think he's disgusting. They're looking at Kamala Harris like she should be the center seat on The View all the time.
Not as many people, though.
Okay.
Yes.
But if you stand in line and somebody's
50-50.
wearing a flag, Eric,
it's 50-50.
You know they're voting Republican.
And
Susan says when she goes to the polls, she stands in line and she says she stays quiet, but she's observing who looks like a red voter and who looks like a blue voter. And I've done it.
Oh yeah.
Everybody, like, who are they voting for?
Yeah. I can tell. I can tell by your shoes. I can tell by your outfit. I can tell by your hair. I can tell immediately. And I'm not just saying that.
People jumping in with their comments. Linda says, why even push it? Like, I guess the Kurt Barr did. He's like, they were so busy. One in Granite City got away with a furry Trump socks. One had to turn a Harris shirt inside out. I would often wear a red shirt. I just wore what I was wearing that day, pink, when she went recently to go vote.
Okay.
I think
Good.
what's
So remain neutral.
a worse issue is if you don't arrive with your ID and they still let you vote.
Well, that's going to happen.
That's the worst issue.
So
I
you
don't give a
have
damn about your hat, but prove that you were born somewhere in the northern hemisphere.
So you have no problem with her being told you can't wear that hat in, or if the sunglasses cover it up.
Don't give a damn.
Okay.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Okay, but here's to your point. So you're
Me
talking about the
personally.
things that people either will or won't vote for Kamala for. Okay. So this is one of the things that I just cannot believe is happening right now. It's all over social media. And this particular one, I've seen this post several times. This is one of my Jewish liberal friends that is posting this. And
female?
This is why this is what's out there right now, why they are voting for Kamala Harris, because she has competence, class, grace, compassion, empathy, ethics, multiculturalism, equality, hope, and joy. We choose Kamala. So it kind of sounds like they are picking their teacher for their child's preschool class and not the leader of our country.
Competence.
Exactly.
You lost me at competence.
That's what I don't understand. There is not.
Look,
but here's
there's
the thing.
two people on an airplane. One is the waitress, the stewardess, and one is the actual pilot. Okay,
we are
they both work on the
for what we have just
read. They both work on the plane. She's very competent in serving coffee to first class, but she's not competent to fly the plane. So competence is a misnomer.
Jay from the chat line, the worst VP ever. Don't forget that. The lowest rated VP ever, and arguably the worst candidate for president.
She's the worst. She's probably the worst primary candidate we've ever had too. I don't remember. There
votes.
There were
9.
12 people on that stage, and she got 0.5% of the
yikes
of the primary vote for the Democratic Party. 0.5.
She would never, ever, ever have been in this position if it was not for the mental decline of Joe Biden, and for the fact that they did not want to take the time to return all of the money back to the donors. The money was already in the pot. So they put her in. That's the only reason. And there's nothing in that list, though.
Oh, we're already doing the postmortem on this thing. We shouldn't even be doing that yet.
Not yet.
The money is.
But former Representative George Santos put out video last night.
Yeah.
I know it's George Santos. He put out video saying that something big was going to drop on Kamala today.
Today.
Okay. That would make everybody want Joe Biden even more. I'm like, wait a second, something more than what we've already seen? Because Joe Biden, as bad as he is proven at least like that old angry uncle. He'll tell you truth.
Yeah.
Because he has no filter anymore.
Yeah.
Or at least what he believes.
Did you see
true.
Anderson Cooper last night?
Yes.
Oh yeah, we're gonna show that. You know what?
Mm-hmm. Did you?
No, I did not, but I saw a little bit of it. But from what I understand, Anderson was like feeding her softballs. Like I laid this up for you, and you still whiffed.
Yeah,
Joe. You want to hear?
It's unbelievable.
On demand, Eric. You talking about this might be the worst answer in the history of campaigning for a presidential spot. Listen to Anderson Cooper's question, and then listen to this answer. This is typical Kamala.
Is there something you can point to in your life, political life, or in your life in the last 4 years that you think is a mistake that you have learned from?
I mean, I've made many mistakes, and they range from, if you've ever parented a child, you make lots of mistakes too. In my role as vice president, I mean, I've probably worked very hard at making sure that I am well versed on issues, and I think that is very important. It's a mistake not to be well versed on an issue and feel compelled to answer a question.
Is there something you can point
to? What was that?
She cannot do it to
Word
save
salad.
her life.
Yummy.
She's able to speak to any issue. What are you smoking, woman? You cannot. She has no idea what to say about anything ever. And why is that funny? Why did she?
Well, that's what people do when she's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
That's what she does. And she turns into word salad, which we would show in a second too. Oh, and by the way, speaking of Kamala, we've got so much on the chat line. You guys are awesome. Thank you for jumping in. We'll get to the Rogan stuff in a second. I did want to get this. Yeah, by the way, Trump doing Rogan tomorrow. Kamala, backed out of her interview with Rogan.
She did?
Oh, yeah.
I
she
did not know that.
canceled.
Why?
I don't know.
Because it's 3 hours of freeform discussions.
That's not good for her.
No, she
3
can't.
minutes isn't good for her.
And on
37.
Rogan, you
Oh.
have to be yourself. You cannot be fake.
Oh, he
Yeah.
will you light you up.
And by the way, just out of the essence of time with our show, we had a major, our main topic was what was happening with electioneering. We're getting into Kamala. Skip says, guys, I just completed election judge training in St. Charles County, where this incident happened, where a woman was told she couldn't vote with her hat on that said convicted felon unless it was covered up. This is in line with electioneering in or around polling places, what happened. So he says that, so that Kurt Barr, what he said or told her was actually true, according to the St. Charles County Election Authority Election Judge Manual, page 7.
Yeah.
I
Like
believe that it's true. I just think that it's
I
ridiculous.
just think it's ridiculous. Yeah, exactly.
I do too. I just, yeah. And I would love
Because
to
a
know.
hat says convicted felon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kamala was so bad in that answer, she doesn't know what to do. And then not only was the interview bad, that answer was bad. David Axelrod, hardcore Democrat, campaign advisor to the Democrats, crushed her last night, literally crushed her on CNN. We have never seen this stuff before. Listen to this answer. Listen to what David Axelrod says, what we all know.
They're hedging.
Word salad. Oh, is it?
When
Eric?
she doesn't want to answer a question, her habit is to kind of go to word salad city. And she did that on a couple of answers. One was on Israel. Anderson asked a direct question, would you be stronger on Israel than Trump? And there was a 7-minute answer, but none of it related to the question he was asking. When she doesn't want to...
Salad City.
Yeah.
David Axelrod.
That was awesome.
That crushing her on CNN. This is massive.
Yeah.
I know Democrats won't listen to it because at this point in time, if you love Kamala, that means you hate Trump for the most part. And there's nothing's going to change your mind.
Do you remember when you were a kid in high school and you broke the window and your parents came home and said,
broke the window.
And your parents came home and said, did you do this? And you would sit there and go, well, here's the deal. Here's the deal. So, there was a lot of birds outside that day. I remember it was like sunny. I think it was sunny and the window was fine. And then I turned around and when I came back, my gosh, did you see Oprah Winfrey today? That's what she does when she answers a question. Whereas you just go, I broke the window. We were playing baseball inside and I am sorry. But how much that would go so far with this lady. Did you break the border, Kamala? You know what? We did break the border. We thought that we were going to be compassionate. I feel like I could do her job for her.
Wow.
We wanted compassion. The border was something that people were coming over for years and years and years. I don't feel like human beings are criminals. I wanted these people to come over and get their shot at being an American. Now, should we have put them through the front doors, the gates over here? Yes, I should have done that. You would be up by 20 points right now if you acknowledge. Did you know that I understand what causes inflation? It causes inflation when you dump too much money into the system too fast. We wanted to be compassionate. We wanted to make sure that the COVID thing was taken care of. We take responsibility. But I will tell you this. We're going to get this thing down. If she would just do that.
But she can't. That's the thing.
Because
that's not her.
She doesn't know. And she's the queen of deflection.
It's like when I fight with my girlfriend, I can never win the freaking battle, even though I think I'm right.
No,
she will never let me win.
That's all about perspective again.
It's not about perspective. It's
you're
the
probably
truth.
winning, but it doesn't count because you're playing a different game.
I know
There's
I'm
different
winning.
rules,
I know
and
I'm
winning
winning.
isn't winning.
But women will sometimes not let you. They will just continue to filibuster and argue with you. That's what she is doing. She's like,
Eric, don't. It took me until I got 50. Once I turned 50, I stopped. And I just listen now.
I'm cool with myself.
Because we're always going to disagree. People are going to have disagreements in relationships and marriages, right? You have disagreements. They happen. Just
the analogy was more. The analogy was more for Kamala. It was like
just be quiet.
It was like Anderson Cooper or whoever
talking.
But here's the thing. She's a lawyer.
Yes.
So, she's prided herself on giving very blank answers. Very rhetorical and blank questions.
So that's what attorneys do.
Pretty much. And I mean that's part of the job. I mean,
it is totally. If
you have to be able
glove
to
don't
do
fit,
that.
you must acquit.
No, I'm not going to say she's like an A-team attorney or anything like that. Please don't mistake me for that. I mean, the girl failed several times before she passed her exam, but she is good at lying. She's good at wiggling her way into different places and situations. But here's I think the problem, Eric, is that the person on the other end is you're not going to see. And that's why she, for instance, she backed out of Rogan. She's so afraid to go and have these talks, these face-to-face interviews with someone that's not going to give her softball questions, that's someone that's not going to give her a preview on what to expect.
Yeah.
She's so afraid because someone like Joe Rogan or, someone in that,
they'll be able
nature,
to pick the shell apart.
They will. And they'll be able to say, okay, so elaborate on that. So do you want to build a wall or don't you?
But it doesn't help her when she does things like this yesterday, Eric.
No, I love
Megan,
it because it's
this
her.
presser.
We know it.
Yeah.
It's her.
But this presser that she hadn't done a presser, guys, since she announced that she was running for president. Not one presser in 3 months. Not one. And then she finally calls a presser yesterday. And Eric, what is her topic? It's Donald Trump. She did
that was amazing. I saw.
It's like what?
I saw the Fox News alert come on. I was like, oh my gosh, Israel just went into wherever. Oh wait a minute. The stock market just crashed. And the Fox News alert, Kamala Harris is coming out, and it was about some dumbass article from some dumbass general. About, I mean, seriously,
a liberal general
it
that
was
they're trying
hearsay.
to say is conservative.
It was hearsay. I'm like, where's the alert?
They're reaching right now. She's got nothing left, and she is reaching. She will do anything.
It was a moment.
It was coordinated. It was coordinated between the Atlantic, between the electronic media, and between the White House. It was a coordinated propaganda.
I'm glad you
event.
see it, Eric, because it's what it was. It reeked of desperation. And here's Kamala wanting to be president, calling a presser to talk about her challenger.
And look how mean and angry she looks and sounds. I think this is so funny.
Okay, here we go. Let's rock.
All of this is further evidence for the American people of who Donald Trump really is. This is a window into who Donald Trump really is, from the people who know him best, from the people who worked with him side by side in the Oval Office and in the Situation Room. And it is clear from John Kelly's words that Donald Trump is someone who, I quote, certainly falls into the general definition of fascist, who in fact vowed to be a dictator on day one and vowed to use the military as his personal militia to carry out his personal and political vendettas.
All right.
Donald Trump is increasingly unhinged and unstable.
I love that word, unhinged. She used it.
Unhinged, unstable, and triggered is Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
Unhinged is. There's a lot of words out
by her
there.
actions.
They give no visceral reaction whatsoever. Unhinged. What does that even mean? It doesn't mean anything. It's a non-word.
Yeah.
Unhinged. Can you elaborate on that, please?
Well, you're such a narcissist.
I know. You're such a narcissist. And then hold on, let me go to the dictionary. I'll be right back.
Unhinged.
Right.
Triggered.
Yes.
And she's
ChatGPT, what it means.
And don't forget, she's the one that's going around saying that we have to tone down the rhetoric, that there's no room for political violence and all of these other things.
They're
so
desperate.
She's going to come in and say these things. And then and talk about fascist.
Yeah.
That's back.
This
That's
is
the word of the week again.
Here's
so
the deal
he's
with
a fascist.
No. This is here. I'm going to break it down for you. This is the New York Jets down by 14 points, and Aaron Rodgers is going to launch a Hail Mary. That is a Hail Mary. The Atlantic, the White House, and the electronic media is a Hail Mary pass.
He needed one.
They're going to
put
it, and they're going to deliver all the talking points to MSNBC. They're going to do all the to CNN, to ABC, CBS, everybody's got the talking points. They go, ready? Operation Donald Trump is Hitler on one. Yep. Ready? 1, 2, 3, break.
But that's been going on since he was. But that's been going on since he was elected.
Well, they run all these stupid plays. It's like they think they're the Wildcat offense and they can't even deliver on any of the plays that they're doing. Whereas Trump is Brady just back in the pocket. Bam, 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 touchdown. And that's the deal here. You're watching an incompetent campaign versus a campaign that has a lot of lubrication on it. I'm going to stop at that McDonald's over there. I'm going to throw some French fries around as a joke because Kamala Harris never worked at a McDonald's. This is a joke. I'm just having fun.
Yeah.
And it came across that way. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So what you saw yesterday, and you'll see another Hail Mary pass in the next couple of days. Another Hail Mary pass might be her. I mean, seriously,
continue.
right?
This is not going to stop
This
because the
is
election is coming up in 2 Tuesdays. And you're going to see the attacks have come from the get-go. I wish it wasn't this way, but it's true.
Yeah.
This isn't our opinion. These things continue to happen. It's like, my God, just.
But here's the thing. I wish, she stands there and looks at the American people and tells them what Donald Trump wants and desires. Who is she to stand there and say that he wants a militia that will not serve the Americans, that will only serve him?
Yeah.
And of course she wants to pick, someone that right now, especially with everything going on in Israel, she wants to pick, the guy who was, responsible for killing millions and millions of Jews. So she wants to use that. That's her only thing that she can put a spotlight on to try and, get these, the Jewish Dems kind of back in her pocket again. So she's, using that because she knows that a lot of Jewish Democrats are done with her. They're done. They're done with the Democratic Party.
She gets it, but
and they should be.
But she also realized what it's like to be at a rally and have people start chanting Trump. This happened in Detroit.
Stop it.
Oh yeah, Eric.
When was this?
This was, I believe, heard her Trump yesterday or the day before.
Come on, let's run this thing.
Here you go.
If he is elected,
This would never happen at a Trump rally.
Look at her though. She loses it. She's so angry with that smile and.
it's all good.
In Detroit.
I'm here because we believe in
Times are
democracy.
changing.
Everyone's voice matters, but I am speaking now.
Woo! My voice matters more than yours.
You know what? If you want Donald Trump to win, then say that. Otherwise, I'm speaking.
That's what they're saying.
Otherwise,
That's
I'm
exactly what
speaking.
they're doing.
Don't you hate that? That is like your mom when you were 10 years old and you just wanted to go play at your friend's house. I'm speaking. My God,
Yeah, she
I just can't do it.
Yeah,
I can't wait for this to be over.
She's just bad. I mean, she can't even go to her own rally without Donald Trump supporters being there heckling her. I mean, and it's happening more and more and more.
Yeah.
The other day, did you see the one where the guy or the girl or multiple people were yelling, "Jesus is King, Jesus is Lord"?
I did.
Because she was talking
And you
about
said you're at the
abortion.
wrong rally.
Yeah. I mean,
I was like, really?
Yeah. So, she's getting, people from
She's
both
dumb.
sides that are like Anderson Cooper, for instance. I mean, you said he gave softball, questions, which he did, but he also was pressing her in a very sugar-coated way to answer questions.
Because they were softball questions.
Yeah.
It's like, if you answer this, here's the card. I'll even give you, here's the teleprompter. Here, can you put this in the answer in the teleprompter? I mean, I cannot, it was like here's the water horse. Start drinking.
Yeah. But she's not even capable of answering basic ABC questions.
Because she would, I think it's here. I am not a psychologist here, but I think it's her ego. It's not a consultant. I don't think a consultant is saying, do not answer any of these questions directly. Do you think it's a consultant, Vic? Because we've been around a lot of them. Me and you have been around a lot of consultants in our lives, man.
But the problem is that you still have to be smart enough to handle what the consultant's telling you.
Because you can test for this. You can say, here's the deal. If you get asked about the border, if you get asked about this or that and the other, don't answer.
She's scripted.
Yeah, but here's the thing. She has been in charge of the border for the last 4 years. She's walking a very fine line with contradicting herself. So if she says, I want to secure the border, well, why haven't you done it the last 4 years? Why don't you do it right now?
I'm convinced it has to be ego.
And she's scripted, Eric. When she's off script, when she's off script, it's bad.
But is the script, is it contradicting the ego?
The script is to say as little as possible. That is what it's been about. Why do you think she hasn't done a presser? Because she doesn't have a good way with people. And she doesn't know how to give good speeches. And then when you're running against Trump, damn, that's like the worst person to run against if you're trying to be charismatic. and professional because he already has the policy. He already had a very good presidency. He's done it. He's laying out the policies that you're not. You're left to try to piggyback on it.
Yeah.
It's all set up against her. And then when you hear a man talk like this, listen to Trump from his campaign yesterday. What we've already heard from Kamala, now you hear her competitor. And it's not even close when it comes to a person that I believe people could see as a leader.
This election is a choice between whether we will have 4 more years of incompetence, failure, and disaster, or whether we will begin the 4 greatest years in the history of our country.
Oh, yeah.
After all the catastrophes she has caused, Kamala Harris can't say one thing that you do differently. You saw that? What would you do differently? I can't think of anything. This is the worst president in the history of our country and the worst vice president in the history of our country. This election is a choice.
A leader, you hear a leader.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You hear an intelligent man, a man who has been there, a man who's comfortable speaking to people, and he doesn't need the prompter and he doesn't need a script.
No.
I think this Rogan thing is going to be the kick over the edge.
Wow. By the way, Rogan and Trump tomorrow, 3 hours.
Now, I've never gotten Rogan live. I always get the recorded podcast. How do I get it live? How does that?
Same.
Is there any way to do that?
I'm
Used
sure
to be
you
on
can
Spotify.
stream it.
Now it's on YouTube.
Yes. He signed a big contract with YouTube.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But
it's so important because
it will be good.
You're going to get bored and you're going to get frustrated and you're going to laugh. And it's going to be 3 hours of, I hope he pushes them on everything. I hope he says, why the hell, if I was Rogan and I wanted I would say, why the hell did you say grab him in the blank? He goes, because then he can at least.
Why are you still caught up on that? You bring that up all the time.
I know you
because there's a lot of people still hung up on that.
I don't think there's a lot of women caught up on that still. I really don't.
I have people telling me that he's a rapist all the time.
You're so
well. That's a different subject.
This is about the
and
soccer
that's a lie
women
too.
This is the black man in this country. They've trended. They don't care about that. The Latinos in this country, they're starting to trend. They don't care about that. The soccer moms in Chesterfield, Missouri, they still remember that. If I was Joe Rogan, I'd say, do you regret saying that? And I would let him answer.
See, but as a woman, Chesterfield, soccer mom, I just checked off all of the boxes.
Yeah, you did. You did. And I'm not saying they're all like that. I'm just saying.
Let's hear what she has to say.
Well, no, I mean,
I don't know what
I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I think you should vote for whoever you want. For whatever reason you want.
If you cannot discern between a locker room comment, water cooler comment. I mean, I had a dad and 2 brothers.
Yeah.
Yes, all 3 of them are masculine. They're not toxic, but they're masculine. They're men. And for me, when I hear that, I'm just like, big freaking
I love
deal.
you for that.
Like,
I love you for that.
I'm not like a shrinking violet that if I hear someone that I know is locker room talk, because that's what it is.
I would say you're the exception, not the rule. Vic and I used to be an inside the locker room reporter for the NFL. NFL Players Association came out today saying there should not be any reporters in the clubhouse anymore because it's such a, I don't know.
It's a fraternity.
It's a horrible place for.
It's a private fraternity, and it should be that way.
And it is, and it has. It is. If you were to hear some of the things that I heard in an NFL locker room, you would be like appalled. You would be. I mean, it's so. But I laugh at it because guys just have a different thing.
It happened over
altogether.
10 years ago, but Eric's worried that there's still women that would
It's
vote
what people
for Harris.
remember.
But here's
I'm
the
telling
thing.
you, man.
But it's not anything that's changing this race, Eric.
Look,
you're either a Trump supporter or a Harris supporter, and then there are very few independents. They're just
you're either a woman. You're a woman who thinks that they belong in the audience at The View, and they love The View, and they love Drew Barrymore's show, and they love all that stuff, and they go Kamala, Mamala, and they go, I'm one of those.
But
That's
nobody,
who I am.
but The View doesn't have an audience. They don't, Eric. The ratings are dreadful.
But they are the mouthpiece of that kind of liberal woman.
Yes, of the liberal woman.
I got to say something.
I'm sorry.
I'm going to take a deep breath here. But so someone, our our infamous Dem on the line here said that that's disrespectful to women. Well, okay, so first of all,
what's disrespectful to women?
The locker room talk. So I'm a woman, so I'm going to speak from this.
I agree.
And so number one, you probably won't answer what a woman is because you can't, because women, the word woman means absolutely nothing to anyone on the left anymore. But let me tell you something as a woman, okay? Hearing locker room talk is not disrespectful to me because I have a brain and I am able, like I said, to discern, to use my cognitive thinking abilities to know when a joke is a joke. But what's disrespectful to women is when a woman shows up to do something that a woman wants to do, such as a woman's sports, such as going into the restroom with other women. So what is disrespectful to me is when I can't compete against women because you're going to allow men to be in there. That's what's disrespectful to me. And what's also disrespectful to me is that when you want to tell me to go ahead and get into that restroom, regardless that there's going to be men in there, that's what's disrespectful. So as a man, I don't think that you have any place to say what is disrespectful to a woman when you probably have no answer for what a woman is.
I agree.
Moving forward, let's make that very, very clear.
Mic drop.
Mic drop. Could not agree with you more. I want
disrespectful to women. He's talking about a locker room, a conversation or something funny that happened. Meanwhile, all over the country, women are being disrespected left and right. I mean, give me a break.
But here's the Democrats. The Democrats are so gangsta. It is unbelievable. They knew when to start ramping up. Oh, look, a lawsuit against Donald Trump for $80 million about raping her in a Macy's or somewhere in New York. We're gonna drag this sucker out.
And they changed the laws to make these things happen.
Yeah.
And then, once again, that was not a criminal.
No, it was civil.
It was civil.
And not to mention, there's no proof that he ever committed this act.
And the dress that she said that it happened in was not even created, according to the designer, until well after the alleged event happened.
That's
so
right.
we all know it was a lie.
However,
it was made
Vic,
up. It was all a joke, but it was all to discredit Donald Trump.
But the equity is not in the money he lost. The equity is in the story that they gained.
Maybe. But you know what that did, though? Guess what all those trials did?
If she can walk on a stage, Vic, without getting sued and say, oh, convicted rapist.
People can go on and say all this stuff. You're right.
Right?
And come after you if they have truth or not.
Soccer moms in Chesterfield. Convicted rapist.
But guess what?
How can I vote for a convicted rapist?
But so many people, especially the left, they thrive on emotion. That's all that they have going for them. Just stoke my emotion, make me feel. So if calling him a convicted rapist in your mind makes you then think that he's a convicted rapist without looking at the paper, black and white, he is not a convicted rapist, nor is he a felon. You know, I mean, the whole thing was a joke. The whole thing was a joke. So,
and I always come on this show playing the devil's advocate.
Because, and you do a good job of that.
And I will tell you why. Because I can't figure for the life of me why we are 50-50 right now.
I can't either.
Eric, I've already got your answer because we're not 50-50.
I don't know about that.
We're not 50-50. We're not. He's going to dominate the Electoral College.
Okay.
We're not 50-50. We're not even close to it.
Yeah, but
and you know what else?
James Carville's pretty convinced that they're going to win. How does that happen?
That who's going to win?
That Kamala's going to win.
And what party does James Carville represent?
The Democrats.
Thank you.
Well, we're saying the same things.
We're
saying the same things.
You know what, though? He's loosey-goosey. He fluctuates, though.
But you know what else?
He's very emotional.
Trump,
oh, my gosh,
Eric,
that man.
Trump could not have run a better campaign to this point in time. It's A++ perfect. It has been outstanding. There is not, for the attacks and everything else, there is nothing more this man can do. And then you know what he also has on his side? The biggest thing, the biggest problems going on in this country for about 3 years now, it's illegal aliens invading this country. And don't think just because it's not in the headlines every day anymore that it's not a major issue. And freaking Kamala went on Telemundo yesterday. She literally went on Telemundo and had this to say about illegals in this country. You want to talk about another? I mean, she is, every time she speaks, she shows you who she is, which is why we shouldn't worry. Here it is, Kamala on Telemundo.
about border security, and there's no Democrat talking about pathway to citizenship, and immigration relief, and the benefits that migrants bring to this country.
She's excited about that.
Mm-hmm. But there's no question that migrants bring. America is a country that was built in part by immigrants
people are concerned about their TPS, their DACA, we're talking about mass deportations.
I'm not talking about.
What do you stand on mass deportations? What's your stand there?
We need smart, humane immigration policy in America that includes a pathway to citizenship.
Right now, we're talking about border security.
That's like a word salad. That's like that disgusting salad.
We show you this stuff every day, just like we showed you Joe Biden every day. Stumbling, bumbling, idiot, fool, worst president this country's ever had. We're showing you something worse right now because she has zero experience to fall back on, and she doesn't get it.
She was desperately trying to find her Mexican accent. Amigo. I do that.
Loco.
Yeah.
See, here's the deal. So Trump has been
tequila. Give mas tequila.
I don't know if you guys have been noticing. Trump has been sitting down with these actual people. Like he's been doing this roundtable for Latinos. He's been going into black barbershops, which is genius.
That's what I'm saying. It's been a perfect campaign.
And these guys, he's not pandering to them. He's just going, we love you guys. We're going to come here and help. And these people are the ones who are throwing their love on to him. Like the people in the barbershop are like, you're the man. I was a Democrat for 50 years. Not no more. I'm voting for you. She doesn't have that.
No.
As a matter of fact, when she goes into very friendly news outlets, this is a friendly news outlet there. She cannot answer the damn question.
No, she's got academia that have money in their pockets, that have absolutely no capability of knowing truth from lies. Or actually, you know what? I take that back. I think that they do. They don't care. They'll choose
important.
the lie.
Media is important.
The 50 and over crowd still, and not everybody, but they'll still look at some news things like Eric. It's taken a long time for Eric to get to this point. And I credit you, Eric. You've gotten better.
What are you trying to say?
That you used to trust all the media stuff. You see that it's state-run media and you can't trust it.
Look at it like this. I don't look at it like that at all. I look at it like this. Back in World War II, the leaflet drop into France and Germany and all those places. That's propaganda. Well, they did it for a reason. It's psychological warfare. The nightly news is psychological warfare. Okay. It proves my point. And I hope that one day I live long enough to write a book on this era, because basically what it is, it's making you second guess yourself. It's like if I started off the show today saying, if you go down the line, list by list, every topic on the board, Trump wins.
Yeah.
Well, why isn't he winning? Because the psychological warfare against Trump, it works. Don't lie to yourself. If you think Lester Holt doesn't move a few needles, you're wrong. If you think that Katie Couric in her podcast doesn't move a few needles, you're wrong. If you think that ABC, CBS, CNN, Morning Joe don't move a few needles, you're wrong. You have to be smart.
A few.
Now, TikTok, I don't understand at all. I don't understand what Gen Z and the millennials think about this. Yeah. That's the one thing that I don't understand
TikTok.
at all.
But I'm with you. I mean, I believe that propaganda works. I mean, I think that's why we're in the situation that we've been in. This is an election of propaganda, and we have been fed nothing but propaganda for the last 4 years. Every time they told the American people that Joe Biden was fine and that there was nothing wrong with him, that was a lie. That was all about propaganda. And now they've shifted the propaganda into Kamala Harris and into how horrible Donald Trump is, and using the fascist words, and talking about Hitler every time they turn around.
Again, those words don't resonate because no one knows what they even mean. They don't understand what unhinged means. They don't understand what fascist means. But if you roll them up in a ball, you're like, oh, this is bad stuff. It has to be horrible. And Trump is just methodical right now. To me, Trump feels like a boulder that's just kind of slowly rolling down a hill, and Kamala is all the tumbleweeds underneath. You know what I mean? You know what this election feels like to me?
An awesome analogy.
You know what you can't stop it, but you're just going to get run over. This election feels like the Super Bowl between the St. Louis Rams when Kurt Warner was there and Brady. On paper, the Rams should have won. They should have won. And I came into the Super Bowl feeling like,
I'm not liking this analogy.
I'm feeling real confident about this.
I'm going to tell you why.
I'm feeling real confident about this. And then turns out the Patriots won. Well, why did they win? They were stealing the signals from the other side.
I know why they won.
Brady's balls were deflated. I mean, they cheated their asses off to win that World Series or that Super Bowl.
Ball. Who cares?
Oh, a lot of people. Oh my God, you can throw the ball another 10 yards on a rope.
The reason I like your analogies because the officials.
That's why I'm feeling like that.
Big role in that game.
Oh well, there you go. That's even a new. That's right.
They cheated. So we don't need any cheating in this election. They have gone into an analogy that you didn't even realize.
The NFL is the Democratic Party. The Patriots are Kamala Harris. And the Kurt Warner St. Louis Rams are the Republicans. On paper, Warner should have kicked their ass.
Yeah.
I digress.
Well, but Warner
That's how I
was the
feel.
Underdog for a long time.
Oh no, not after the Greatest Show on Turf came out.
Yeah, but before that, he was. You know,
he was correct. He was definitely not. He was like, "Who the hell is this guy?"
Mm-hmm.
Well, Trump's not a.
And who's that gal that he's got chirping with him every time you turn around? That short gal, his wife.
Oh wow!
But I mean, she was like an appendage.
Oh, Brenda.
Of him.
Yeah,
Brenda.
Yeah.
I got you.
It's a good team.
No.
But anyway, I digress. That's the only reason I say that is I want you guys both to go, oh yeah, Trump's got this in the bag. It looks good on paper.
But let me tell you.
But we don't have any clue what's going on behind these ballot boxes that are in the public squares. We have no idea what's happening. I don't know the IT behind this stuff. I don't know what's going on. And if you guys really feel like 2,000 mules was a thing, and I don't because I have no idea what it is, then why couldn't that happen again?
It could, but allegedly, Laura Trump and the GOP is doing a much better job at getting people out, some sort of polling, some sort of response, which takes us into Tanya's comment from the chat line. Kamala's getting a lot of votes illegally, including Dominion systems. 5 people yesterday I took to vote using Dominion. They voted for Trump and no on most amendments. After reviewing before completing, President was switched to Kamala on all. No amendments were turned yes.
How do they find out about that?
You get what it does, it'll flip it. You have to pay attention to your ballot when you finish. You have to review it. Review. We did a show on this the other day. Review the ballots because we showed video from Tarrant County, Texas, where people's votes were being switched. They needed to go back and look because if you don't go back and look, the votes can switch.
Yeah. And yes, Chris, I did. I watched that video that you sent me. And then Tanya, you also sent me several different, bits of information. But basically what is happening is that there's already cheating that has started. So,
Dude.
Just be aware and do whatever you have to do to make sure that your ballot got put through.
Yeah.
But the other part of that, Linda just said too, her husband is working the election, said it may be slow. So many people are voting early. The other issue that we talked about this week too, now I think it's Arizona came out yesterday, the state of Arizona, and said it could take 10 to 13 days to get all of their results in.
Dude, I was thinking 10 to 13 months after the lawsuits.
This comes after Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Georgia all said they're not going to have results the night of.
I don't think that any of these secretaries of whatever should be rubber stamping these wins without a deep dive into the concerns. Right?
But they're red and blue, Eric.
Okay,
these are elected positions. They are Democrats and Republicans.
Do you know how easy it is for these guys to get on camera and go, this was a fair election. This was fair. It was.
Yeah, they did it 4 years ago.
Did you deep dive into what he just said about these votes getting flipped over? Did you check it? Because if this is a case, and look, let's say that they have 2% of the votes flip and they win by 1.5% of the margin.
Correct.
Then they win then it's a faulty election. We are living on the margins in so many counties. They don't have to go and flip. They don't have to go put these machines in Des Moines, Iowa. But they have to put it somewhere strategically in Wisconsin, and they got to maybe put it strategically in Michigan, and maybe a few in Pennsylvania. They don't have to cover the whole world. They just need to do it strategically. So what I'm saying is, in the old days, when I was a young man, they used to have they used to have the election results around 11:30 every night. I remember I could stay up and say, "Oh, look, Reagan won. Oh, look at this. Yeah, Clinton won. That makes sense." Now, with the lawsuits that have to go on with these machines, with nobody trusts anybody anymore, the lawsuits that have to go on, I could see this well into January before they say, well, we did our due diligence. We can't find it.
Right, but here's the problem. We're in America, and it's 2024, and we are sending people in and out of space every other day. We have humans that claim that they are, redirecting climate change, and we can't tally votes for people.
And I'm going to tell you how you fix that.
I'm
going to tell you how you fix that.
How does that happen? We literally cannot tally votes. People go in, they color their circle in Americans, and we are having a problem trying to figure out how to do that clearly and ethically when we are doing all of these other monumental things.
Here's how you fix it. It's election day. It's not election month. It's not election season. It's election day. If you have a hard time getting to the polls, we will have buses going around this. And on top of that, it is a national. Don't shake your head no at me. This is a good idea. You have a national holiday, no different than the 4th of July.
I'm on that.
No different than Christmas. No, you do not go to school. The financial institutions are shut. If you are a private business, you give your employees a 4-hour window.
It wouldn't finish in one day.
It would.
Okay,
but what I'm saying, it'd be too much.
What I'm saying is, you are, as an election season city, like St. Charles is all of a sudden. If now you're an election season city, how much more do you have to manage? It's like trying to herd a bunch of ants around. It's like, okay, get these ballots, and did anybody check the ballot over here? Does anybody know if this?
Exactly,
the questions are all over the place. Instead of encapsulating is the ideal word here. You cannot secure these votes unless you do it on one day.
I don't know.
Then we go back to the days of the election.
I'm for one day, but you got to be able to do this early voting. It wouldn't.
Why?
We would not. There's
people
we
with
would be
scheduled
overrun.
surgeries.
Why?
We would be overrun
with what?
With the amount of people voting.
Well,
and
then
the systems.
Then put a polling station in